Hi guys, and thank you for clicking on my video and joining me on this Sims renovation. I am in The Sims 4 in the Eco Living or Eco Lifestyle, I believe it's actually called. Yes, Eco Lifestyle. So I'm in Eco Lifestyle, I'm in the new neighborhood, and I am on one of the new locks, the Canal Corner. I was inspired by Deligracy to actually renovate this house. I was going to bulldoze it originally when I thought about what I was going to do on this lot when I moved my Sims in, but after watching Deligracy's video, I thought, why not renovate and just build on to what we've got? I wanted to pleat my money down. That was the main reason why I wanted to bulldoze, so I could really build a nice big house that was going to really deplenish my money. But I did end up replenishing most of the money anyway, so as I want our Sims to start with not much, and I think we start with around 40 simoleons. So we're going to start by getting our bones sorted. So downstairs I actually made open plan, and upstairs here you can see I have expanded for a second room and built a very small bathroom. I've done a very small bathroom just because it's mainly going to be an ensuite. You're not going to have access from the outside, from the foyer where the stores are, where the stairs are. So we're going to only have access to the bathroom through the rooms. Downstairs I've got a nice big space with no walls and open stairs with no wall under the stair either, so that I can put the kitchen in that corner where the stairs are. Once I saw that this hexagon tile or wood paneling had come out, I had to use it. I love this new flooring. It is amazing. I just think it's such a nice floor. And I actually really enjoy all the wood paneling for the floors, or wood flooring, that they gave us in this pack. I quite enjoy quite a lot of the wood flooring, but this has got to be some of my favourites. Although you do see me pause here for quite a while trying to decide exactly what I'm going to be doing, and do I want to go darker, do I want to go warmer, do I want the warm light shade, or do I want the cool light shade? And I do end up making a decision. I end up actually flipping the tile so that it's running horizontally across the room rather than vertically, so I quite like that look. So I will change that here in a second while I quickly flick through my lighting just to see what this floor looks like in different lighting. It's always a really good tip as well. If you aren't sure about a floor, just flick through the lighting and see if it looks like what you want it to in different lighting as well. I actually ended up deciding to go with this colour, and as I said, I've split the boards to go horizontally. And now I'm going to add that to the other room as well. I do like continuity between the floors, so all the bathrooms in my builds would be the same flooring. All the main living spaces and foyers and stair landings and all that will be all the same flooring. If the kitchen is not separated by any walls or doors, it will be the same flooring, and bedrooms will be the same flooring. So you do see me going through here. I'm trying to figure out what sort of tile I want to put in the bathroom. And I'm really unsure here. I add this one and I think, oh, this is really nice. It's funky, it's different, it's not like anything else in the house. It's very industrial looking nearly. And I was going for that industrial look, but I just wasn't sure on it, and that's why I've continued flicking through some floors here. Obviously, definitely not carpet in the bathroom. I do have a look at a few of the like spa day and the dine-in floors, but I'm really unsure of them in the end. I just don't know. I do like this floor. This is quite a nice floor that I've added here. I do quite like it. I do think it's possibly a little too light at this stage, but we're going to go with it. All our walls have been made blank slate as well, and that's just so that they don't interfere with the process of choosing floors or choosing furniture, and then I can choose the wallpapers and wall colours to go with the furniture. So straight away I've gone into the kitchen to get that sorted. Now I've chosen this, I think it's from Patio, the Patio set pack. I don't really use much from that pack. It's just not something I gravitate towards at all. And I decided, yep, I need to move the stairs down a few spots, and that still works upstairs. I always check that my stairs aren't leading or branching into rooms or anything when I do that, but I do want a decent sized kitchen, so we're going to build this out, and I like to go with a really light countertop. It's just my personal preference. So we're doing a nice light countertop with some island benches here, and it is a small kitchen, and I probably could expand it, but that'll be something we look at doing in the future. So see here, I'm a bit unsure on what fridge. I don't normally use this fridge. It's not my favourite, but nothing else really seems to work. I've turned move objects on in this build as well, as you can see, otherwise the fridge won't go under the stairs there. I just didn't like how the stairs were cutting into the fridge though, so I've decided, nope, we're going to move it over one and have a bench next to it, which works perfectly fine. Now, I'm trying to decide whether I go with this bin or not here. That's why I was quickly scrolling through, because I've heard this bin has a glitch at the moment where it doesn't work because of the new patch from this game, which is really unfortunate because I love that bin. It's a really good way to get your poorer Sims to have some money straight off the bat, so that they're not just dead flat poor all the time, and they can at least replenish the amount of money they spend on food that way. So now I'm choosing some tables, and I played with the idea of doing tables inside here, and then I decided nope, I'm not going to do inside tables. So I do scroll around through the tables a bit, try and figure out what I want to do, and I did end up settling on this table. I really like this table from Dine In. It's one of the few I like, but then I decided, how about we do an outside dining area? And I took these chairs, which actually suit the wood on the dine-in table perfectly. I was really impressed with that. A lot of the wood in this new pack suits wood in other packs, which is so helpful. So we've done an outdoor dining space, and we're going to use the new bed from the pack, the new double bed from the pack. And you see here, I start playing with this bathroom to try and figure out if I want to make it bigger, because I realized how small it was. So I start working with some diagonal walls. I don't often do diagonal walls or weird shaped rooms in my build, and that's why you see in a second this gets scrapped so quickly, because I hated it. So I played with the idea of making everything a bit bigger out on the expansion and making the bathroom a tiny bit longer. Then I couldn't figure out where I wanted that door, so I ended up going back to what it was. As simple as that. Go back to what it was. The shapes I had and the size I had were fine. I'll make them work. So I've chosen the bed upstairs for that's going to be Amina's room. So I've chosen her bed, and I decided, yep, let's do the other room as well. But we don't want that colour. We don't want the same colour in both rooms. I like to change that up a little bit. Obviously, they're different people, so they're going to have different tastes. For the different Sims, so they're going to have different tastes. So we need to build slightly different rooms for them, just so that not everything's the same. I really like this side table. That's not the right colour for the bed that I've chosen, but I really like the side table that came in this pack, that side table. It is such a nice side table. I do go with this more industrial looking side table over here. I get rid of that in the end. I don't particularly like it in the end, but for now it works. It gives me an idea of spacing, which is the main reason I do it at the beginning. So now I start having a look. I want to save money on a toilet. I don't want to spend all my money on a toilet, obviously. It's not really where I want to spend my money. So I grab a cheap toilet, a sink. I do an all-in-one sink, so I don't have to buy a counter. That just makes life easier. Don't have to choose a counter. And I love this shower that came in. Did it come in University? I think it came in University. Such a nice shower. Saves so much space. And then I decided I don't like these pillars, and I accidentally deleted a wall, so we'll put that back. And then I delete some flooring. And so then we go through and delete all these fences. I just decided that I wanted to try and do this with stuff from the Eco Life pack if I can, just to change it a bit. So the Eco Lifestyle, sorry. I changed up, and this door has got to be one of my favourite doors of the pack. It's such a nice door. Also thoroughly enjoying the fact that I can just hit Alt now and place a door wherever I want. And the big sliding glass doors, bang on, they're great. I was here deciding what size of sliding glass door I want. Did I want the medium? Did I want the really big? Did I want the small? In the end, I go with the really long one, just because I think it looks good, and I do end up moving it slightly. So here you can see I've got Alt turned on. In a second I hit Alt and I start moving the door over. There we go. I just want it off the edges a little bit, but not too much, because obviously I do want it pretty close to the corner. But in real life you would never build it right on the corner, so I want to make that realistic. And I really enjoy now that we can just place them wherever we want on the wall. That's great. So let's start working on the lounge area, or the living space. It's clearly a small house. We don't need a huge living space. Right now I'm scrolling through the seats trying to find out which couch I like. I try a few different arrangements here too, I believe. So first off is this little love seat from the outdoor pack, and I really like this seat. It's a really nice little seat. It just isn't what I want in this. It just doesn't suit this pack or this build yet. Now I do end up going with this chair. This is from the Jungle Adventure pack, and I like it. I don't end up using both of them like this. You can see I'm playing around with the idea here, and I'm just trying to find my spacing. I like there to be a lot of space for the Sims to move around things easily. I hate it when a sim gets stuck and you have to go in and reset them and debug them, and it just, I don't like having to do it. So I try and make my builds as friendly to walking around as possible. And you can see here I play with this tiny living TV as well, and I see if I can fit in one of the Eco Lifestyle coffee tables. So I sized it down, and then I didn't like how the square one looked, so I tried the round one. I really like the round one. Size it down once again. I just found it too big for this house, or for this lot. And so you can see here I've gone, nope, I don't like that idea. Scrap it. And this is my process. You know, I have a bit of a process where I just, do I want this one? Do I want one that goes on the coffee table? Do I want one that goes on the wall? I end up with this TV. I think it's a fine size. I don't think they need anything too big. They're not going to be watching it a lot, just enough to get their happiness up. It's just there to get their happiness up and spend some simoleons, because we don't want to start this with a lot of simoleons. So we're definitely going to be changing that up a bit. So you see here, this is one of the Eco Living chairs as well. I really like that chair, the little armchair. It's a good little armchair, and it does go decently well with this Jungle Adventure. And as you can see, the wood matches, and that's what I mean. They just did such a good. The sizes of the armrests and things like that don't exactly match, but the colours do, and I'm okay with that. I can handle the size and the chunkiness of the wood being different. What I can't handle is when the colours of the wood are completely different. So here you can see I have just moved that door over a little bit. I do apologise if you hear stuff happening around in the background. I'm not home alone, so sometimes there's some background noise here. But you can see I've moved that door over by using that Alt key, which is really quite nice. And I like that I can customize where it sits, because I did want it moved over a bit, but I didn't want it, once again, right on the edge of the house. So that's really good. Now I sized down these rugs because these rugs are huge. So everything they've given us just seems a bit big for the house size that they've given us and the lot sizes they've given us. And that's fine. So I've just sized it down a little bit, and I bought us a little plant because it's eco. You want to have plants in your house. You need plants. So I've done that as well. I then realised I forgot to put a sink in, so I added that. And so far I'm enjoying this. And then I decided, all right, we've got some spare cash. Let's put some feature lights in. So I start scrolling, trying to figure out what sort of feature light I want. I didn't end up using the ones from the Eco Light pack. They didn't suit the build. They did not suit the build. These, however, do suit the build, but I end up actually putting them elsewhere. I put 3 of these beautiful dangly lights here in the kitchen as feature lights. I love them. I love these pendant lights. They are so much fun. I really enjoy them. I do put one in the foyer, I believe, as well. I'm not 100% sure, actually. Do I? Oh, I tried this because I've never been able to fit this in my life anywhere because it's so large and I don't like to scale it down. So I did try that. Decided I was still not going to be able to fit it there. Obviously, this is a smaller house than what I'd normally build, so I don't know why I would have thought I would fit it there. But we go upstairs and we put these little bottles in up here. We actually delete these later because we need cash for windows. So we end up deleting them. But we delete this fencing here too. And we replace it with some railing or fencing, I guess, that comes with the pack. Now this is cool. This would be a nice outdoor fence if I was to do a fence outside that isn't hedges. But I do end up replacing it with this. And I love it. I love that. It's such a cool look. I just think they've put so much time and effort into this pack, and it shows. It shows that they're getting better with their packs. It really does. You've just got to think about the packs we got at the beginning compared to these later few packs that have just been spot on. So here I'm playing with railings because no railing exactly matches that fencing upstairs. So I end up going with this industrial railing. I quite like it. It's from Get to Work. It's basic. It only needs to be basic. It's so your Sims don't fall off the stairs and die. Let's be realistic. Toddlers walk up and down stairs, and in real life if they were to walk up and down stairs and yeah, they just die. It's just how it would be. Now, up here I decide, you know what, I really don't like these bedrooms, but I need to add some doors as well. So we start working on bedrooms by adding doors. But I just don't like how they're looking. I really don't like how they're looking. So I wondered if it was a wall issue, if the walls weren't done, and that's why I wasn't liking them. So we start scrolling through some of the wall options. We'll start in the foyer. I do a feature wood in the foyer. I love it. And this wood's carried on elsewhere in the house, but it's just not the same tone as what's inside, which looks awesome. It looks amazing. Later you'll see it. Now I'm just having to scroll through, trying to figure out what I'm going to do on the walls of the bedrooms. So I do sometimes wonder if having a blank slate hinders me in that process. I've chosen all my other things and now I want to change the walls and have something cool on the walls. But I don't want plain walls. So I don't know if it hinders me or helps me. I know I have an easier time choosing walling or wall covers at the end than I do at the beginning because nothing goes with them otherwise. I just end up using a really basic bed if that's the case. So I do play with some feature walls. I'm not actually a huge fan of this brick. I don't know why I tried it. I really hate it. It's not my favourite. It's just not detailed enough for me, I think, and I think that's the issue with it. I think it just doesn't look quite real enough. So I have a scroll through. I can't find anything I like. So I think about, do I do a colour all over? No. And so I just decided to go back to blank slate for now. And I scroll through some more colours. Wallpaper options. You can see here that this process takes me a long time. This is the worst part of my process. I actually really like this wall paneling. It's really nice, and I do like that tone of wall paneling, so that's what I end up going with. Add some warmth to the room. The room was looking really cool toned, and that's, I think, what I wasn't liking about it was too cool toned. And to me, I just wanted a really warm, comfy room. Cool tones just seem cold to me, especially in bedrooms. It's fine for the rest of the house, but I played with the idea of changing the floors to that hexagon again, but then I was like, well, maybe if I do carpet, because I thought the wood paneling on the floor was too much with wood paneling on the walls as well. I was wrong. I was 100% wrong with that. I do go back to the original flooring, I believe. Or do I leave it on that dine-in flooring? I might leave it on the dine-in flooring. That's fine. Either way, it's nice. Now, I do go back to the original nightstand I had, just in a different colour, because I changed the colour of the bed in the future as well in this room. But I do try the Spa Day one. I really liked the way that looked, but I put some rugs in and I decide what I like to do. So you can see here I'm trying different rugs, different colours, trying to find something really warm, trying to find something that isn't going to be too small, too big, which is really difficult. So I size it up. That takes up to all the room. Size it down. Yeah, it doesn't take up enough of the room. So this is the issue I find, is the rugs aren't consistently sized, which isn't amazing, but I get it. So I thought, oh, well, that's nice. Well, what if I do two of them and I layer them? So we layered them, but then it was too cool once again. And I was trying to bring these blue tones in for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because it was on the bed. I was like, I must bring the blue tone in. But by doing that, I was just making everything too cool. So I knew that these ones down the bottom were too big. So I went back to this one. This one's a really nice rug. And it's the same as one we used downstairs, but we sized it downstairs. And we used a different pattern on it. So I scroll through all the patterns and I find the one I like. Do I like the black one? And you can see here I've changed the colour of the bed. And I much prefer this colour of the bed. It's just a much nicer bed colour. I delete that bedside table and get rid of it. Go back to the mat, trying to find it. Perfect. So now I move that rug over and I center everything in the center of the room rather than between the two doors. I don't know what I like better. Centered in the room, centered between the two doors. Not sure. But once I go back to that bedside table, I love it. I think it looks so much better. So we go to lighting and I decided I wanted to get these little lights. I knew the ones I was after and I was just searching for them through here. Now, I do end up finding them because I scrolled straight past them, and they're from the Teeny Home or the Tiny Home. They're so cute and they just let off a really nice warmth because I believe they're meant to be candles. So they let off a nice warmth. This dresser is divine, by the way. This is something I would have in my own house. I love this dresser. It's great. And you do need a dresser just so you can change your Sims up and stuff. So that's always helpful. Plus, we had simoleons to spare. But once again, I want it to feel homely. Now, the second bedroom doesn't get quite as much stuff in it because we started to run out of money. I knew I still had to do windows. And I still didn't get to put the amount of windows or the windows I wanted to in. So that will definitely be a build option, or maybe we'll leave this house as it is. And when we move, we can have everything we wanted because we'll have enough simoleons. So we'll see. Then I remembered I need a mirror because we need to be able to get charisma skills up and psych yourself up and freshen up and do all the things. And I really like this little round mirror. The big one from Get Famous is just way too big. But this little one with the LED lights from Spa Day, beautiful. And I was able to make it blue, which was nice. Brings and ties in the mints and whatnot. So Now we're looking for a wall covering for this bathroom. I'm really unsure on what I'm going to do on that at that stage. So once again, you see me scroll through all the wall coverings 1,000 times to figure it out. And this is the hard thing, is I just don't know which one I want. It's a real difficult situation for me. So I just go back to all eco lifestyle, and I end up going with this clean slate. I like it. It ties in the mints, the blues, the greens. I think it's nice. I do change the floor though, I believe, yeah, to this lighter colour just because I thought it needed some brightening. But the dark floor was too much in that little space. So I really prefer that same pattern, just a lighter colour. Right, then I go through and I try and select a nicer colour of this dresser, of this little bedside table. Decide I don't like it, delete it, get a new one. So I get out of that eco lifestyle and I try to do this room with a different pack. I'm trying not to use only things from this pack, so I do change the colour of that bed to a darker wood, which is quite nice actually, especially because it's for the male. So I think that's quite nice. Not that there's anything wrong with having lighter colours for males. I personally just find that version a little bit more masculine, and that's what I wanted. So I try a few different bedside tables. And I end up actually going with this Jungle Adventure one. I find some of the Jungle Adventure stuff just suits so well in this pack, just because it's basic wood stuff. And that's what you want. Now, when I go back downstairs, I decide that this is too empty. So I want to put the dining indoors, sorry. So I delete all this because it's not going to fit. I was really unsure about what I was going to do table-wise here. So I start scrolling through and I find this one. This is a base game item, I believe. Like, it's just a base table that we've had from the beginning. I've never used it. Now, obviously it's just meant to be a small table, but by simply putting two nice and close together, I'm able to get a decent sized table that's not too big. And then from the laundry day pack, I was able to get these wicker chairs. Now, wicker's really, really in at the moment in Australia, and it's not my type of furniture. I really don't like wicker furniture, but it looks quite nice in this house, so we're going to go with it. Now, we can't just have our expansion sitting over, floating over the ground. We need to have some columns. So we get out the columns from the Eco Lifestyle Pack. I really like them. And we start playing with this roof idea for this area. I decide not to, and I just expand the existing roof. You'll see that in a second. I play with this roof for so long trying to get it to work. I don't know why I didn't just expand from the beginning. But I thought that roof worked. I thought it was fine. So I start adding columns all around. I changed the colour to a lighter colour. And that's originally to match the outer edging on the sides of the house, which ends up getting deleted anyway. But I do keep the lighter colour post or column. And I expand the roof lines a bit. And you'll see soon I just get the absolute craps with that roof sticking out the back. And then I go through this new solar roofing that's available, and it's meant to be an eco thing, but it doesn't cost us any money. So we'd be able to put that on anyway with no money costing, so that's really cool. So now I start looking at some of the siding and stuff for the house. So see here, I'm scrolling through. I always struggle with the outside of a house. I never know what we should do, and it never has my ideal stuff in it, because some of these bricks would be really nice if they just had a little something on them. So if they had like a little trim piece, or a little rail line going through it halfway up of wood, that would look lovely. But there's just not those options. So it gets really difficult for me. But so I start having a look through some of these options out of the eco lifestyle, because I thought it might be nice to use some of the new ones on the outside of the house. So I do like this paneling. Then I decided I used it in a bedroom, and I didn't like that idea. So I end up going with this paneling. Now, as you can recall, we use this paneling in the foyer and in the living room later on. So I really like that, but we use it in a different colour, so it's not too much then. It doesn't look the same 100%. Obviously, you can tell it's the same options, but it's not exactly the same, which is nice. But I really like it on the outside of the house. I think it looks quite nice, and this is where I get the craps with that roof dramatically. I start trying to fiddle with it, and I just decide, nah, let's expand. So I tried just expanding the roof line out a little bit. That didn't work how I wanted to, so back in it goes, and we expand out here. So we bring it out, and we do add a column in for support, and we just bring it out just to so it's flush with the extension, which means the whole lot hangs over, which does create a bit of shading, which is nice, I will admit. So bring a column up to the top of that, and we place it in under the edge here. We just got to find the right placing. I struggle with placing of these sometimes really bad. Sometimes the placing of this sort of stuff is just not okay. That's alright. So we do end up finding our placing, which looks great. So in a second, we'll see that soon. We end up finding our placing in a second, which is nice. So once we do that and we found our placing, which we find out that this angle is a much better angle to place on, but we find our placing and we start mucking with these hedges. We bring that side of our house out a little bit more. So we start building this hedge fence out nearly all the way to the edge of our property line, down and around the front columns, and we actually end up putting that column in the fence, which is nice. I actually much prefer it. So we bring that in, we move. This glitches sometimes on me. Oh, it's so bad. But anyway. So now we bring that out, and you can see that column at the front's actually in the fence, in the hedges, but that's fine. So that's the edging of our house done, the finishing of our house done on the outside pretty much. Now it's just a little bit of landscaping and windows at the very end. So, or do we do windows now? Oh, we realise that we haven't put anything on the walls downstairs, and so we get the same paneling from the foyer or the stair landing upstairs, and we put that in the lounge and kitchen, which I really enjoy. Now we start doing this flooring out here, so we get that sorted, so it's all grass in under there, and it is cement around the front. So straight into the windows, you can see I only have 40 simoleons left at this stage, so I delete this little light just so I've got a bit more money to play with for windows, because we want a few windows. So you can see here I play with some ideas. I land on these ones. These are really quite nice. I do play with a few different ideas there, but I like these ones. They're basic, they're simple, they let a heap of light in. But because our doors are all black, I decided to go with the black frames on them. So I put one nice big one in the other bedroom, and we put another one right there. We go downstairs, and this is where it gets tricky in the kitchen. So Deligracy used that long window as well, but I end up actually going with one of these windows. I like that they have the same windows in this pack over different sizes. So this is obviously a medium wall one, which I end up going one medium wall one and one short wall one, so I can put the short wall one at the bench height, so that you're not, if you're on the outside, you're not seeing the back of the stove or the oven. So now if you have a look, guys, this is the finished product, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the game. Thanks for watching. Bye.